of this, just slide and get your lick back. And get your lick back. I feel like I'm JX. J-Way. I'm a perfectionist. Adderall got me restless. I'm gone. Run with a wild crew, they get reckless. Young boy, come up off that neck. Into the trends. See a lead, be the band.
Welcome to Bleachers and Speakers. I'm your host, June. I got my co-host, B. Foster, with me. I want to remind everyone to please subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube. Where is that? There you go. It's a little delay. Subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube, and anywhere you can listen to a podcast, you can find me and B. Foster. All you have to do is type in Bleachers to Speakers FFSN in that search on that platform, and those are platforms like Spotify, YouTube Music, Pandora, anywhere you can listen to a podcast. All you gotta do is search. Make sure you hit that notification bell on, so when we drop content, you'll get an alert and download those episodes. Make sure you subscribe to all of our channels. That's Bleachers to Speakers for Pistons and Lions football, Corner to Copa for baseball, and Midwest Ciphers. That's a hip-hop channel started by B. Foster. We'll be putting some content on there.
Both of us, man. Both of us.
I mean, but you the father of, you quarterback the thing, and I'm just, I'm just here, man. It's your idea, it's this is your baby, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna run with it. I'm with you though. I'm with you 1,000%. We got a game tomorrow afternoon, Foster, and after a loss, we can't help but be ready to watch the Lions play. But it's a 4:30 game. It's an away game, and there will be no Jaden Daniels this week, I don't think.
No,
not after that nasty. I seen the footage. Ooh, that was gruesome. But he won't go on IR. Ain't that crazy?
I can't believe that there's a possibility that he could come back, but the team's going to be so bad by then.
Yeah. So anyway, that makes me feel a lot better after a loss, not having to face Jaden Daniels, because what happened in the playoffs. It was primarily all him. But the Redskins haven't been playing as well as they did last year. This is a game we definitely need. We are 5-3. We do not need to be 5-4. And it's a tough stretch because I think the Eagles is next after that, right?
Yeah, on Sunday night, if I'm not mistaken.
So we definitely need to win this game. I would say this is a must-win game. Chicago is on our heels. Vikings have been rejuvenated after the win versus us. They feel very, very confident, and you still got the Packers there. Whether they lost, but they're still in first place. And so even with the loss, they're still in first place. So it's getting kind of tight around here, man, as far as the NFC North picture. And these are games when you don't have your starting quarterback that we need to win. We need to win. And me and Foster went at length about why we lost that game versus the Vikings and what went wrong. Today, we're going to talk about righting the ship, at least for part of the day. And Foster, I'm going to tell you what I need to see.
What's that?
There's a rumor, right, about we've been exposed, right? And this is what I had to say about that, because if it was that easy, everybody would do it, right? They're saying pressure up the middle. We can't stop pressure up the middle. Now, if it was that easy, everybody would have done that. We wouldn't be 5-3 if that was the recipe. I think the Vikings were successful at it, and we had a bad day at protecting it. You can scheme away from it. If that's your weak spot, you can scheme away from that. But I think the bigger problem was not pressure up the middle. It's not being able to run the ball. And I think that is something that it was a lot of correctable things that was going on, missed assignments. They made plays. We didn't. The one-on-one battles, they didn't win a lot of them when it came to the running game. You have to be able to run the ball for this offense to be successful. Play action is everything. So when they're worried about play action, when they bite on the play action, it makes that much easier. and we gave up 5 sacks. So we said the keys to that game was being able to run the ball and keeping Goff upright. We did neither. Still was in the game. Still was in the game. So it wasn't like we got blew out. We didn't do the things we needed to do, and we lost. So this week, I expect the Lions to tighten up, win those one-on-one battles, move the ball pretty good offensively. And the defense, I can't trip on the defense. JJ McCarthy made some timely plays. He didn't go crazy. He wasn't even above average. He was, by the numbers, he was pretty average, pretty pedestrian. He scored with his legs when they needed it, and he made some timely throws, but he didn't hurt us. I think we hurt ourselves more than anything. The fumbles, the 5 sacks, the fumble, the 5 sacks,
the penalties,
those all played a big part in that loss. Foster, Art, what concerns you, if you have any concerns, about this upcoming game tomorrow afternoon?
Well, I feel like between Washington and Minnesota, they both kind of parallel in that they both got blown out the week before. They both had some QB issues. Obviously, JJ McCarthy was taking back over for Carson Wentz, who was sidelined for the year with an injury. Kind of a similar situation with Marcus Mariota taking over for Jaden Daniels. So I anticipated them kind of playing with their back against the wall and knowing that they were in must-win territory themselves. So we can't allow that to happen 2 weeks in a row. I think this is the first, like you said, must-win game. Absolutely is a must-win game. People are saying that they've kind of been exposed. I mean, I think that Brian Flores and the Minnesota Vikings, that is when they're at their best, they apply pressure to the quarterback very, very well. They had struggled with that early in the year, but they did get more healthy. Andrew Van Ginkel, who we know is a very much so an impactful player. So they had some things going for them, but the Commanders defense, I don't know how they ranked last year, but they are a bottom quarter defense this year. And I expect us to get back on track starting with the running game.
Yeah, it's hard for me to believe that we can't run the ball 2 games in a row. I don't care who the opponent is. I don't care. For Jahmyr Gibbs to have the game that he have 2 times in a row, I'm willing to bet that it doesn't happen like that. My money's on him having a decent day at worst. A decent day at worst. So we have to make sure that we keep Goff upright. We have to make sure that we are protecting Goff and being able to run the ball. I think defensively, we match up very well with just about anybody. The defense, they made plays versus our defense, but our defense has been pretty consistent, even with the defensive backfield woes. We didn't have Kirby Joseph versus Minnesota. When the last time we played without Kirby Joseph?
Well, it's been a couple games, actually.
I mean, I'm just saying, like the few, this season is a time where we've missed him. Previously he hardly missed games. So we're out there playing without Kirby Joseph, and they're holding up pretty good. He had 9 interceptions last year. You know what I'm saying? He's the best. I think, in my opinion, he's the best free safety in the game.
Yeah. And just to give you some context as far as the defense, we're second in sacks with 28. We're 8th in total defense, 12th against the pass, and 10th against the run, and 5th in takeaways.
I ain't mad at that.
Not bad.
Not bad.
And Terrion Arnold, not to cut your wisdom again, Terrion Arnold had his first interception last week, and he ranked second amongst all cornerbacks with a 38.1 QB rating when he was defending.
And I'll give you one better, Foster.
What's that?
What do we rank in sacks again?
Second.
We rank second in sacks. And this is a team where primarily the Lions fan base were saying we need another defensive end.
That's what I talked about on Wednesday.
This is a fan base that are pretty much trying to crucify Brad Holmes for standing pat on the defense.
And I saw a stat line for Abdul Carter, who was the first edge rusher taken out of Penn State. He has 1 sack.
I mean, Brad Holmes been telling us all offseason, most teams have just one all-star defensive end pass rusher, if they're lucky. Nobody has 2. And
well, the Broncos have 2.
Well,
they're head and shoulders above the rest with the most sacks, and it's like 12 more than Detroit.
That's not common, though.
Oh no, not at all. No, I'm just.
They are the exception to the rule.
100%.
And it's like, why spend all this money on another defensive end when we have a guy on the other side or a committee of guys on the other side that can get it done? And we all was sitting around, me, Foster, we was waiting for trade deadline. We were waiting for off-season signings. We were waiting for the draft to sign. I can't blame you. But I'm not mad at him standing pat and then looking at these stats like, no, wow, we're number 2 in sacks. I mean, if we were number 1, would that change anything as far as the record? Probably not. I guarantee you whoever's number 1 doesn't have more than 4 sacks more than we do.
No. I'm telling you, the Broncos are, and they got some guys that you probably never even heard of. But
let me do this. No one I bet you we're number 1 in the NFC.
Oh, for sure. We're second in the league.
So I guarantee you, because everybody was worried about what everybody else is doing in our division, in our conference, as far as defense. You know what I'm saying? So we're the best in the NFC as far as total sacks. And you guys were going crazy because Brad said we're going to stand pat and go with what we got. It's almost like I'm the GM, shut up at this point.
That's what he would like to say. He can't say that, but more or less, that's what he says.
He's not going to say it. And he's well within his right to say it, because I'm going to say it again. I never agree with what he wants. I never agree on his draft picks, his off-season moves. I'm very critical of it. But it seems to work. And this team is turned around in such a short time. It's like a lot of us fans forget where we came from. You know what I'm saying? So we have big expectations for this Lions team. The last 3 years, big expectations. You know what I'm saying? So what was the year that we lost to Frisco in the playoffs? We were expecting big things. Last year, we were expecting big things, and that goes the same for this year. And it's much better to expect big things than to thinking we ain't going to be worth a damn, because we've been there a lot. You know what I'm saying? Whether we got disappointed in the playoffs or not, there's a lot of years where we didn't make the playoffs. There's a lot of the years we wasn't in the playoff picture. It's a lot of years where the team was blacked out on television, where we couldn't watch it because not enough people bought tickets in the stands, so we couldn't watch it locally. We've come a long way from that. We're on prime time now. We're getting games flexed out. We're on Monday Night Football. We're on Sunday Night Football. So let's take a quick break, Foster. We'll talk some more. I haven't paid a lot of attention to the Redskins, but I know you've got some insight. Let's talk about the Redskins. Not see the Redskins. The
Bro, you say the Redskins so much.
Commanders. I am so sorry. No disrespect. No disrespect. The Commanders. I know have a little bit more insight about the Commanders than I do. So when we get back on the other side, we'll talk more Detroit Lions versus the Washington Commanders. And Foster will give us I know he's done some scouting. So we'll talk more about the Commanders when we get back. If you're watching, we'll be back in 10 seconds. If you're listening, you'll hear some wonderful ads. We are back. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channels. There are Bleachers and Speakers, Corner the Copa, and Midwest Ciphers. If you haven't subscribed and you're listening, you are wrong. Make sure you subscribe to the channels for us. We're getting close to that 300 subscriber mark on Bleachers and Speakers. The goal is at least 500. We need to get to 300 first. So please, if you're listening and haven't subscribed, subscribe. And if you haven't, you are wrong. Foster, what can you tell me and others who don't know about the Commanders?
Well, obviously, as we talked about earlier, Marcus Mariota, who is a veteran quarterback, kind of hard to believe that he's already 32 years old. I feel like I remember when he first got into the league, but he's going to be taking over at quarterback in place of Jaden Daniels. He's actually played a decent amount this year because Daniels was dealing with a hamstring issue previous to his current situation, but he hasn't been great. You know, he's experienced, of course, but he's got 4 touchdown passes and 4 interceptions. So he's not a guy that's going to light up the scoreboard, but you know, he could be serviceable. I think that their running attack, although they don't have any, you know, big names, they you know, do pretty well in that, you know, category. What's really hurt them the most has been defensively. They, you know, haven't done a good job of defending the pass. The Seahawks did what they wanted last week from a number of players that you wouldn't necessarily think that would fare so well. So, you know, that's going to be an issue for them. And their top receiver, you know, if having a backup quarterback wasn't rough enough, Terry McLaurin has been in and out of the lineup. So I don't think that he's going to play this week. And Deebo Samuel, I think last week was his first game back as well. So, and Deebo's not so much he's kind of a dual threat. He's really kind of a running back in a receiver's body. So, yeah, there's not a lot of options on the outside for them to contend with, but yeah, we will see. This is still, you know, the Commanders did beat us last week. You know, and we should be going in there with the idea that, you know, we want some get back, and just because they're kind of wounded and don't have their starting quarterback, you know, gotta play it, and it's in Washington. It's not at home. So, you know, gotta play this game like it's a playoff game, because we need this.
It's a revenge game for me. Yeah, it's still bitter taste about the first round exit, and it's the way they did it. They just looked that much better that day, and I was still not happy. The score was 34-24. I still remember the score.
Yeah, I don't know how you do that.
Man, and I usually don't. I usually do not. I do not. What up, Tim? What's going on? Yeah, man. Tim said elbows ain't supposed to have been that way. Yeah, I saw.
I'm glad I haven't seen it.
Yeah. He says Marriott is trash. Y'all shouldn't have any problems with them. and that Commanders team isn't what they were last year. I certainly hope not. And they haven't played like it. I saw the game. I saw a couple of games, and I was like, no, that's not it. I saw the game versus Green Bay, and I was like, no, this something ain't right. Something ain't right.
And
Green
that
Bay.
was early. That was
Game
what was it,
two.
game 2? Yeah, that was after Green Bay beat us. And it was just like they don't have that same
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah, and then I did watch the Commanders versus the Bears, and they literally handed that game to the Bears, but they didn't look good.
Nope.
They looked like a regular mediocre team. So
Your average Commander team. I mean, the Commanders, we had that show last week and they talked about, yeah, we've never won anything. And I was like, you know what? They ain't been good since Joe Theismann.
I think oh man, I don't even want to think how far back. I think they won with Mark Rippon in 92.
They were okay with RG3 for that flash in the pan,
Yeah, I think they won with Mark Rippon in 92. I think that's the last one. But it is what it is. Nobody in our division has won anything outside of Green Bay. In Green Bay, you got to remember, Green Bay won with Aaron Rodgers, and that was a long time ago. That wasn't recent.
No. As far as the Super Bowl, no.
So, I don't know if it was anybody in our division talking crazy, but but Bears won in 85.
No, they went to the Super Bowl with Hester, right?
2017.
Damn. Okay, 6 years ago. That's it. No,
that was 2012. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm like, it was further back than that, but yeah.
But yeah, it's still
Doug Williams. That's a good one.
Yeah, Doug Williams.
How could we forget Doug Williams?
I thought Doug Williams was before Mark Rippon, but
yeah, 80s.
Yeah.
They didn't win the Super Bowl with Mark Rippon, did they?
Yes, they did. 1992.
What?
Yes. I remember being in the Army and they played Dallas on Monday night because Dallas had won the year prior. And
it wasn't 92 though.
Check it out.
That was Cowboys and Bills.
Was it 93? I know Bills won in 93. I mean, Redskins won in 90, the year after Dallas won. I might have it be a year off.
Hold on. Redskins.
It was Mark Rippon.
It does say 92.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's weird because they had Cowboys. They had in the picture they had Cowboys. But okay.
Hey, I'm gonna take you back, Foster, because you probably wasn't around. But I was in the Army.
Okay.
Dallas had won the Super Bowl. I think the year prior. If Dallas didn't win the Super Bowl, they was really close. But the next year, it was a Monday night football game, and the Redskins played Dallas, and I was living in Texas, and I was in a room full of Cowboys fans.
Okay.
And they were the Redskins at the time.
For sure, they were Redskins.
And the Redskins put belt to ass that game, and they went on to win the Super Bowl that same year. They were that good.
Yeah, I mean that's a vivid memory. You're like, nah, they won it that year. I know this.
I wasn't a Dallas fan. I'm cheering for Detroit.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I was a Lions fan. So it's like back then, I'm like, I don't care who win or lose, but I was in a room full of arrogant Cowboy fans.
I mean, that's all of them, kind of. But
and they were playing the Redskins, and the Redskins went crazy on them, and they went on to win the Super Bowl. Mark Rippon had a wonderful game that night, and he went on having a wonderful season. So okay. Tim was in the Army too. Yeah, I was in there a little earlier than that. I don't want to say the years, but yeah, I was in the Army. I was in the Army a little earlier than that. I'm a Persian Gulf vet. I'll say that.
But yeah, he's right. Art Monk, and Darryl Green. You remember? I know you remember Darryl Green.
Darryl Green, yeah. Yeah, they had a nice little squad. I don't remember the running back, but I remember Mark Rippon going crazy. And I remember Art Monk was a steady wide receiver for them. He should be a Hall of Famer, if not.
Yeah, Art Monk is.
He was one of the ones back in the 80s and early 90s. So yeah. I do remember them being that good, but it's been a long time for them. And I think they thought they were on to something with RG3.
They were kind of.
And they were on to something until he got hurt. And
Mm-hmm.
they've been trying to find their way back since. They've been trying to find their way back since. And I think they got something with Jaden Daniels, but this year has been an injury-prone year for him.
Do you remember when they had, what's his last name, Snyder? They had an owner.
Mark Snyder.
Yeah, who spent all that money. He had Deion Sanders at the end of his career. I think Darryl Green was still there. They had LeVar Arrington from Penn State.
I remember when they drafted me. One of my best friends was a diehard Washington fan.
Yeah.
And I had to hear all of that.
Yeah. They never did anything with that team, though. They were like the Lakers when they had Gary Payton and Karl Malone and all those guys. Yeah. They were just too old.
Yeah. Yeah. I remember when they drafted LeVar Arrington. I was like,
oh man, because he terrorized the Big Ten.
Yeah. I said, he's going to be a problem.
He fizzled out too, though. I don't think he lasted long.
No, he played about, I don't want to say how many years, but he was good for a few years. And then he was just, I think injuries ended his career. He still hangs around, though. He shows up to the games. He's still a Commanders fan. He's still there and shows support. But other than that, he wasn't the person he was supposed to be. No. As far as he was supposed to be the future.
It's tough. This NFL will break you down. I don't care how.
Well, the thing is, especially mobile quarterbacks that have design runs and this, that, and other, you ain't got that many years in the league because you gonna get hit.
That's why when you say like they could have something with Daniels, but they very well couldn't. I mean, I won't say could not, but coming into the league, he always took a lot of big hits, and he's not very big.
Yeah. No. Nope. He's they but the mobile quarterbacks usually aren't. They're usually,
That's the idea. Yeah.
They're usually smaller guys. They're not. They're 6'5", 200 and some odd pound guys. Like they're not the
Josh
big
Allen.
kid. Josh Allen is
he's a running back basically.
He's an exception to the rule too. But he picks his spots very, very well, and he's they don't want him to run as much as he does. He just does, but he's a big guy that can move, and he has a heck of an arm that's very accurate. So he's one of those. He's a unicorn. But usually the smaller quarterbacks are, the Kyler Murrays and
Lamar,
but they get hurt. They get hurt. And I think that's a reason why you got guys like Goff. They preserve their bodies because they don't take as many hits. With the exception of the last game. But
I mean, he still doesn't take big hits. It's just like just
he usually goes down when the pressure's around and they just, kind of fall on top of
kind of fold.
Yeah.
Yeah, Allen is a linebacker. Yeah, he really is.
Yeah, he's not getting blindsided and but it's like the pressure, he succumbs to the pressure and they get a hold of him, but it's nothing really crazy. He gets sacked, he's jogging off to the sidelines or jumping back up, shaking it off, getting back in the huddle. So, but these running quarterbacks, it's a lot of wear and tear. So luckily this week, tomorrow, we ain't got to worry about that. We faced this quarterback when he played for the Raiders on Monday night a couple of years ago because I went to the game.
What, Gino? Oh, Mariota was playing.
He was the Raiders quarterback.
Oh, wow. Well, that went well.
Actually, he was all right, but I think
he was cooking. He was cooking.
Aleem McNeil had a couple of sacks in that game.
That was what I was going to say is that second in the league in sacks, and he hasn't even got his first one yet.
Yeah. And I'm gonna tell you this, Foster. This is off subject, but I got to see Max Crosby in person. He's for real. Like, not just he wasn't just good rushing the passer, he's very good against the run. Like, he's one of those defensive ends. Like, if we were talking about actually trying to get a big name defensive ends, he was the only one I was interested in because I seen what he does against the run and versus the pass. He's very active.
I mean, he's Hutch. He's got the motor. He's got the size. He's he's got the motor and size. I mean, obviously the skills and everything else that goes without saying, but not everybody plays every down at the same pace. Some guys take series off or take plays off. Those guys are nonstop.
Yeah. Yeah, the crazy thing about that is, it's like you got teams like the Redskins, and nobody talks about injuries when you're doing bad. I don't want to hear nothing about injuries, Foster. I don't.
Oh no.
It's not an excuse. If you look at our track record last year and this year, I ain't trying to hear it.
Speaking of injuries, Malcolm Rodriguez is quietly questionable for the game.
That's good to hear. What about Pascal?
Out.
Yeah. He'll be back next game versus the Eagles.
And then, who else? There was one other person that's out. Oh, Miles Frazier is out, but he'll
be back.
Yeah, he's talking like, I'm ready when they are.
Yeah.
So, that's about it as far as Grant Stewart. He's been playing, right? Or has he been out? Because I kind of forgot about it.
Special teams.
Right. So yeah, he's been limited in practice and he's questionable, but he must not get a whole lot of snaps because I kind of, outside of kickoff, punt, and all that type of stuff, because I haven't heard his name too much. Our linebackers been healthy though. Barnes, Campbell, and Anzalone, they play pretty much every down, so there really hasn't been a whole lot of opportunities for them because part of the reason why our sack numbers are so high is because Campbell and Barnes have a couple of sacks themselves. So it's been a joint effort though. It's not just like, oh, our edge rushers eating up all the sacks. No, all right, pause. That's crazy. Our linebackers have done their part as well.
Yeah. It's a group effort. It's a group effort. And Muhammad started off hot. When he played,
very hot. Yeah.
He had 2.5 in that one game, but he's still getting pressure on the quarterback. He was hurt for a couple of games, so I was
going to say he missed the game as well.
Yeah. So I think once the team, when we get most of these players back, and we're at 5-3 right now. I think by the 11th game, we should have a lot of players back, DJ Reed included. And I'm good with Terrion Arnold being back. He actually, like I said, got his first pick last game. Pretty good
time.
Hey man, I was hoping for it, man. And I hope this is just the beginning of more from a confidence level. Did you see? Is it true what I read? They said that Shep said, as a coverage guy, Arnold is exceptional, but in run support, it's unacceptable. Did he say that?
He said unacceptable?
He said unacceptable.
Really? I have to look into that because I always looked at him as a pretty stout run defender.
It wasn't from ESPN or anything like that, so I don't, and it wasn't from Woodward Sports or nothing like that. So I don't pay it any mind as far
I
as
don't even think that he would go out and say
I don't
something like that.
I don't think he would say nothing like that, but it was like, I
But
wonder
I
if
don't think that's accurate. I think that I think that's the one thing that even if his coverage was suspect, that's an easy argument to make. But I always felt like he defended the run above average. So I don't know.
yeah.
I don't know. I know one thing, his PFF numbers are
What are his PFF numbers, Foster?
So they used to give you a breakdown between, pass rush, run defense, coverage, but they blanked that out. Now you got to pay for that. But his total grade is 47. It was great last week.
Yeah.
Those penalties kill him.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would assume that when you get a holding call or a because the PFF is a score where you get a certain amount of points when it's above what you would expect, a certain amount of points when it's right along the lines of what they would expect, and you get negative when you go below the expectancy. So I'm assuming that you probably get negative points every time you get called for a pass interference or something like that. So
he doesn't get a lot of PI. He get a lot of holding, illegal touch.
Illegal contact. Yeah,
illegal contact. And the thing is, whenever it comes, not just Terry Arnold, but most people that get an illegal touch, it's at the most inopportune time. It'd be like 2nd and 19 on a 4-yard pass, 3rd down, and the pass is incomplete, and that's a call. You know what I'm saying? It's never a good time to get it, but I wouldn't be mad if you got a legal that got that penalty on 1st and 10, and they try to throw a 30-yard bomb, and they, you know what I'm saying? And it just happens at the wrong time. At the total, like there's not
there's no good times, but there's certainly a bad time.
There's certainly a bad time. You'd be like, wait, hold on, man. You ain't even. That's on the other side of the field on 3rd and 19, bro. Come on, man. Don't do that. But yeah, and I think those penalties happen, lack of confidence, lack of technique, and then some people get away with it more than you think. So it's not that they, thinking, I'm just going to grab and hold. A lot of these people play like this, and it's not called a lot. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. I think they just start getting picky with it certain times of you know what I'm saying? I think the coaches get into the ref's ear, like, look, you know what I'm saying?
Media, if you don't think the media plays a part into it, like to where the ref's like, let me keep an eye on number 6, man. Number 6 he's
and right now they're looking for Arnold to act up. So sure. It's like it's crazy. It's crazy. You gotta be careful. By all means, before you give up a 40-yard pass, I'll take the 5-yard penalty. It's not all bad if you get beat, and that's the reason why. If you stop that 40-yard pass and get 5, I ain't mad at that.
And that's the biggest. Got probably one of the biggest transitions from college to the league is that it's a spot foul in the NFL. It's not in college, so it's a no-brainer to make that decision in college, because you're just going to get
take that 15-yard penalty before you throw a 50-yard bomb. I will tackle you and hold my hand. Hey, it was on me.
Just goes to show how hard quarterback being a cornerback is, because they give you that much leeway in college. That's an insane amount of leeway that you can tackle a dude, and instead of being a 50-yard play, it's automatically 15 or whatever it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Do you expect the offense for the Lions to be okay tomorrow?
Yeah. They talked about possibly moving, although I think that Glasgow was good at the center position. Tristan Colon, somebody that we went out and got during training camp, they said that who has a lot of experience at the center position, they said that he might get some reps at center and move Glasgow to guard, which Glasgow is a much better
He
center
does
than he is
not
guard.
want to go to guard.
Right. But right now we have what's his name? Awasaka or whatever his name is. I can't remember exactly.
I'm a butcher the name.
Right. Coyote or K or I can't remember what his nickname, what they call him, but his name is Coyote Awasaka. He's like the current guard replacing Christian Mahogany. Obviously, Christian Mahogany had a pretty serious injury. So,
how serious was that?
I think he broke a bone in his foot, if I'm not mistaken.
He's gone for the year.
They didn't say that though.
Broken bone in the foot. That's wow.
Let me see what it says. He's on the IR up here near ankle. Yeah. I can picture my brain kind of what happened. His leg kind of whipped out and it, turned awkwardly. But so yeah, he's on the IR. He probably is out for the season, if we're being real. So so yeah, with us having issues on the interior, that has to be figured out one way or another if we hope to get back going, running the ball. So
hopefully Frazier's the real deal.
That's everything. Like, honestly, if he can step right in, of course we'll have two rookies on the interior, but it would have been nice to have him throughout the season to develop and get better. Because I think that it's done a lot for Tate, and Tate was a higher draft pick than Miles.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but the knock on Miles was injuries in college. I think he did.
Go figure.
I think he don't quote me, but I think he held up pretty good his senior season, but there was a couple seasons before that where injuries were an issue, and he moved from guard to center, and that's always going to affect your draft stock because nobody's drafting centers like that. Nope. They're going to take centers in fifth or sixth rounds, seventh rounds, they and most teams already have a center. So, and that's why it's not that it's not valued, but most teams have a center. So that's a developmental position more than likely than anything. If you're in desperate need of a center, more than likely they go free agency to get one. And most teams will draft one to develop. So we got lucky with Frank. He was there. Turned out to be one heck of a center, and we are truly feeling his absence. His that retirement was bigger than I thought it was going to be. Still, it's not, still doesn't change the mission, or puts detriment towards it. I just think we'll be a lot better up front with Frank, Mr. Ragnow, than we are not. So it is what it is. He's a retired man. Salute to him. Hopefully he's resting. Hopefully he's healing, because he was hobbling, and football is a tough sport, and it's rough on your body, and hopefully he can get rid of those aches and pains and be able to be just a regular human being without, taking medicine, ice baths, and be able to pick up your kids and run around with your kids without no ailments whatsoever. He would be a great offensive line coach. Be a great one. Foster, let's put a bow on this. Do you have a prediction for the game, or we not gonna mess with that?
We tried that last week and it went real, real well. So
let's stay away from that. Point taken. Just stay away.
Yeah, I think that just addressing that interior offensive line. Obviously, we're now replacing somebody who was still kind of learning and getting acclimated. So addressing that pressure right in Jared Goff's face. He still had a pretty good game, all things considered. He didn't turn the ball over at all, and he had, I think, like 280 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. So I liked what I saw from our aerial attack. Laporta was good. J-Mo got back active. He had a touchdown. But we gotta see. I want to see a heavy dosage of Gibbs and Montgomery. I want to see them wear down a very lacking Washington defense, and I hope that the defense continues. Continues what they had going. We got to JJ 5 times ourselves. And Marcus Mariota is not all that elusive and not much of a running QB. So we should be able to create some opportunities for him to make mistakes. He has as many touchdowns as he has interceptions this year. So gotta handle business, albeit at home, on the road.
Truth of the matter is, if we protect Goff and able to run the ball, we shouldn't have any problems.
Should be easy.
I don't want to say easy, but it shouldn't be an issue. We should be able to win this game and win it without sweating, without worry in the fourth quarter. We should be able to win. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channels. Let me get the video up because I'm tripping. Subscribe to Bleachers to Speakers on YouTube. Make sure you're following us on all the aggregators for your audio fix. Those are platforms like Spotify, YouTube Music, Pandora, anywhere you can listen to a podcast. You can find Bleachers, find me and Foster. Just type in Bleachers to Speakers, FFSN in your search. You can also do the same for Corner to Copa, FFSN. Just because baseball season is over doesn't mean the information and the media content is over. Foster is working diligently, him and Coach, on giving you updates on roster moves and everything else. It's going to be a big decisions being made as far as the roster going forward with the Tigers. So please subscribe to that channel, Corner to Copa, and make sure you are listening. Also, Midwest Ciphers. Now, I'm going to get this out the way because Foster tried to say, hey, it's me and his. It is. Foster created this channel. Foster came up with the idea of it and where it wanted to go, and I am fully in support, and we are working diligently to make sure that this YouTube channel pops. It's going to have ciphers. It's going to have just people. It's going to be a lot of stuff. I don't want to give up too much, but it's going to be some battle rap stuff on there. If you go there now, you'll see 2 clips of some music production by myself and my boy Cam. Foster, I got another clip I'm gonna send you of just where I did some production yesterday. Cam wasn't around. I just was messing around with some stuff. I'm not finished with it, but little clips. We'll just show them. Another clip to put on the channel. But other than that, make sure you subscribe to those YouTube channels, man. We got 3 YouTube channels that we want you to pay attention to and subscribe to. That's Bleachers to Speakers, Corner to Copa, and Midwest Ciphers, man. Make sure you subscribe, man. And if you haven't subscribed, you are wrong. We will be right back. We are doing our Pistons show. We're going to take a quick break after this, but make sure you're subscribed, and we'll be dropping this we'll be doing our Pistons show. We got a lot to talk about with the Pistons, man. Oh, man. I feel good about this Pistons team. Anyway, we'll get back to you. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for watching.
Get your lick back. If a nugget do something, ain't no chit